Marissa again, jumping on to talk a little bit about our relationship with food. Tonight I'm going to talk about body image and body shaming and how it affects our eating habits. I am home right now, back home in Fresno, visiting my family, so if it looks a little bit different, that's why. I'm definitely in my room, on my bed. Anyways, I am just jumping on. I wanted to talk a little bit about, it's really common for us to criticize our bodies. Body image has a really big impact on our eating habits. We think that sometimes if we criticize our bodies or we feel guilty about things that, hi, thank you for the love, that it's gonna make a difference in our eating habits. Like it's gonna keep us in check or it's gonna keep us in order, but it actually has the opposite effect. It actually kind of goes the opposite way. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually went to go see the movie Embrace, which if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And the movie talks all about body image and the struggles that women have every day with their shape of their body and their size. And I know men struggle with those same things as well. I think that it becomes pinpointed for women because a lot of our value, our personal value comes in our appearance as women, whereas men have this, can have their career and be really successful, and a lot of our culture still falls back on if you want to get married or you want to be in love, then you have to look a certain way, and so we have this pressure on us all of the time to look a certain way or to be in shape or to be a certain weight that we think is appropriate or healthy or whatnot. And if we think about it too, we're constantly bombarded with nutritional information on social media, the news, on TV, that's constantly talking about, okay, how do you be well? How do you lose weight? And it's constantly reminding you, hi Yasmin, thanks for joining. It's constantly reminding you that you need to eat a certain way to feel good or to be skinny or be happy. And then we're surrounded also by messages from the media, magazines, beauty companies, the fashion industry, that we need to look a certain way in order to be beautiful or to be, chic or popular, whatever the conversation is. And it's not that fashion isn't bad, and it's not makeup isn't bad, beauty products aren't bad, eating healthy foods obviously not bad, but it's really about looking at what our relationship is to each of these things. Why do we use them? Why do we seek them out? So my question to you begins with why do you use fashion? Why do you care about what you look like or makeup and eating healthy? And is it a self-expression? Is it something because it makes you feel good? Is it because you enjoy it? Or is it something that you feel like you have to do or you should do in order to get married or to be happy or to feel confident on the outside? Are you using it to try to cover up who you are? And it's just a thought, I think oftentimes we don't even realize that we're body shaming ourselves by the things that we say. So I want to kind of give you an example of what I mean by giving you some common things that I find that women, myself included, are guilty of saying, and sometimes men, I'm sure, can say some similar things that really are undercutting yourself or, really shaming yourself rather than being empowering. So, for example, I'm sure we've all been there. You've said something like this, oh my God, this dress makes me look really skinny. And right there, you're already saying, well, I'm not skinny. This dress just makes me look skinny, or I need to be skinny, or I hope that I look skinny. All of this conversation is really not an empowering conversation. It's not saying something like, for example, I love how beautiful I look in this dress. That's a totally different conversation. If you say, I love how I look in this dress, or I look beautiful in what I'm wearing, oh, thank you for the love, then you're saying I feel good right now in this dress, and you're not saying that you don't look good normally in this dress, right? If you say, for example, if it wasn't for concealer, I don't know what I would do, right? Again, you're saying who I am, the way that I am, is not sufficient. It's not good enough. I need concealer to fix myself, as opposed to saying something like, I really love how this makeup or this concealer brightens my skin tone. Again, we're changing this negative conversation into a positive one. we really like, or for example, this is the most common one, and I think men can relate to this one as well, is I'm eating a salad today because I feel so fat and bloated, or I feel fat, or I need to lose weight. That conversation is so body shaming. Thanks for the love. And instead, a conversation that would be empowering would be like, a salad sounds so refreshing to me, and it's exactly what my body wants, right? So again, these are totally different conversations that you're having. Oh, thanks, Anushka. So again, we want to just be thinking and cognizant of like, how often are you bringing yourself down by the things that you're saying? Like, what are you saying to yourself, and is it empowering you? And it actually makes such a world of difference. So I want to explain why it relates to our eating habits. So when we're overly focused on the way that our body looks or doesn't look, or the number on the scale, or the way that those old jeans fit you, you end up sabotaging yourself. You can go one of two ways. So the first is to say, oh, well, I'm already fat, or I already look bad, and I'm just going to keep eating. Or you go into restriction. I better eat perfectly, and then you eat perfectly for the next 2 weeks, and then that always leads to a binge afterwards, because you're really cutting yourself away from all the things that you think you shouldn't have, and nobody can last that long without, indulging every once in a while. So it's really important to see that the conversations that we have about ourselves and our bodies, and the subtle conversations even that we have about our bodies and ourselves, that actually can have an impact on the way that we eat, our eating habits, and again, when you're kind of going perfect, I'm eating really perfect, and then you binge, you might lose weight, and then you're gaining, you're losing, and you're gaining, and you're losing and gaining, and that cycle never ends, and it continues and it continues. So it's really important to just have like a really healthy balance, and having a positive body image, or saying positive things about yourself really makes a difference. And I think the last thing that I want to say about that is, criticism, self-criticism, judgment, all of those things really bring us down, like in all areas of our life. So if you feel like life is really good, but you have this one area of your life, which is food or your body, that you can't keep on track, it really brings your entire level of confidence, all of your energy down. And oftentimes people have that relationship with the scale. So you jump on the scale, and if it doesn't read the number that you think it should, then all of a sudden you're not happy. Hi Gilbert, thanks for the like. You're not happy. You see that number, and you automatically have this, I'm failing at life, right? Or I'm failing at dieting, or I'm failing at eating healthy, because the number in the scale doesn't match what you think it should. And so your perfect day or your great day, you might have woken up happy, and now you stepped on the scale and your day totally goes down the drain. And it's really important to kind of notice that, like, because especially if you have struggle with emotional eating or something like that, that all of those like emotions impact your eating further on in the day. So again, you can kind of go into that mode of, well, I didn't make my weight. I'm not winning at this, so I may as well just eat whatever I want. Or, wow, you can get really depressed and really upset with yourself, and then that leads to checking out by emotionally eating. So it's really important to think about the thoughts that you're having about yourself, and start to take a look at, how is the judgment and the criticism really supporting you in sticking to your healthy habits? Because I'm going to say that it probably isn't. And I think it's important to start to pay attention to those little ways that you're maybe bringing yourself down, or shaming your body or your weight or how you look, and starting to bring a little bit of awareness of how that actually impacts you. And the last thing that I want to say is, if you're somebody who body shames other people, or if you look at other people with disgust or make assumptions about who they are as people when it comes to the way that they look, or because of their weight or their body, then you're a terrible person. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a really good idea to step back and take a long, hard look at yourself and decide if that's a healthy or happy way to live. valuing people based on the way that they look and judging people based on their weight, it doesn't come from a place of love. It really comes from this place of fear. And likely you're living in fear a lot of your life and it's stealing your joy. You're not practicing gratitude for the people in your life and valuing them for what they're really worth, which is not how they look or their weight. And the same thing goes for you. If that's something that you do and you're shaming your own body or you're criticizing your own body or saying things that, you know, really bring you down, it's really important to take a good look at what is the impact of that on every part of your life and whether that's really working towards your advantage, and whether you really want to base your self-worth on your weight or your body, and just consider that it's not actually helping you the way that you think it is. So anyways, thanks for jumping on. Tonight was a short night, but I appreciate you all being here, and I will be on next week, and I'll be talking about our relationship to ourselves, so like spirit, alignment, soul, and how that connects to our relationship with food. And then I have an awesome program that I'll be talking a little bit about again next week. That's going to be starting at the end of April, really about transforming your mind, body, and spirit as it comes to your relationship with food. So have a really great night and a great weekend. Bye.